had the first beer we were drinking. Can you repeat it? You were talking about Cheers?
Sure, like
Or were you
like the origination of people using Cheers?
Oh yeah, what were you thinking? Possibly.
Yeah, like if somebody was going to poison your glass or something, so you would cheers them, drop a little of your drink into their glass, so if they did poison you, they would suffer, the same as you, I guess.
That's funny.
Yeah, you might as well just pour your whole shit in there, because you're that paranoid.
Right. It's an interesting kind of thing, but you'd have to pretty smack the glass pretty hard.
Yeah, I guess they maybe tilted a little. I don't know. If you're a pirate, wouldn't it seem like obvious if everybody's like trying to like get a little bit of a drink in here? Like, the jig is up. You're not poisoning anybody at this point.
Yeah, but the other thing I think about that. I mean, I know it's just a legend, but it was like, what if they're everybody's super paranoid. You even said the thing about the
glass bottom on the glasses.
On those pewter glasses. Yeah. The bottom. So I've heard that before.
I have
too.
One. I think I have a little like metal tankard that has.
I have one too. Yeah, I got the tankard where you can see in the bottom.
Yeah, nobody wants to sneak up on you. I don't know. Maybe somebody's going to try and like assassinate you. Maybe Lincoln needed one. Oh no, he got it from behind. Right?
He was watching the show.
Did you know that? Who was it? Aaron Burr, the guy that tried to shoot Lincoln. He was like trying to like fuck with somebody, like his daughter or something.
Aaron Burr is the one that killed Alexander Hamilton.
Oh, whatever. One of those assassin guys. I think he was like involved with like Lincoln's daughter that like rejected him for another guy, and then he went after Lincoln or some shit like that.
I don't know.
Good, don't fact check it, but it's pretty interesting. I read it the other day.
Yeah, I can't argue because I what I knew about Lincoln before I don't know anymore.
I don't know, but I could totally see it happening.
I did see a thing that he was a vampire killer.
And he was a super fucking racist too. Lincoln didn't like fucking black people either.
Oh, didn't he?
No, he wanted to send them back to Africa. Like that was his initial plan, was to send them back, but he couldn't figure out a way to do it.
Technically, that wouldn't have been racist back then because they literally had just came from Africa. So.
Well, yeah, I think they've been here some time, but yeah.
No, but still, they literally.
But it's the same thing as like ICE is doing. Like, if you deport some guy that's like Mexican, but he's here, like, what the fuck does he know about Mexico? Like, what would sending Africans back to Africa do? What the fuck do they know about Africa? If they're like born here, like, what are they going to do there?
During that generation, they were still slavery was still legal, so people were still coming over in boats. So technically, you'd be sending somebody back home that was brought here without wanting to be here.
What if it's not somebody that's not like some, like a Mexican person that's born here and they get sent back to Mexico? They don't know. They don't fucking know Mexico. Why are you sending them there? Like,
well, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah. What if a slave was born in America and you're like, oh, we're going to send you back to Africa? They don't fucking know Africa. What are they going to do there?
I've never heard that about Lincoln before, but again, I don't know.
It's definitely true. It's definitely true.
I don't know enough about it, and
it is. I'm telling you, Lincoln wanted to send them back.
I believe you. There's people that wanted to go back. So
I don't know if I would.
You would go back to Africa?
I wouldn't go back anywhere. I'm fucking already here. I don't want to get back on a boat. Like, fuck that. Nah.
Right, all those people that died in the Middle Passes.
Yeah, this is absolutely. I'm good here. Like, nah.
No, they were not good here. It was really bad.
Yeah, it was.
It was really bad.
I'm not going anywhere else. So.
You would be fucked if you were here. You're not light enough.
Maybe. No, when I did my DNA thing, like I'm 2% European Jewish. I'm fucking Gucci.
Oh, okay.
I'm good.
What else are you?
Like a lot of stuff. Portuguese, like
a lot
Spanish.
of Puerto Ricans.
I mean, it's pretty much like the slavery mix, like European, African, like.
What's your highest percentage? What was the top?
I think it was like mostly African thing.
I wanted to do the DNA thing myself. A lot of Puerto Ricans are mostly African.
It's almost like I think I'm almost like 45% African.
Ain't that some shit?
No, well, I mean, if you know slavery, then you know fucking why. So, I mean, it's not a big surprise, but like some of it was like Cameroon, Congo, and Southern Bantu people is 21%.
Oh wow, look at that.
Yeah, but then the next is highest is Portugal, 20%. It's like fucking Europeans.
Yeah.
Then like Spain, Native American, France, Mali, Ivory Coast.
That's a lot of fucking, you know that, right?
Togo.
The years of people making babies and
Senegal. Like, I'm all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
Jewish, Basque, Middle East, Nigeria. I'm just like straight fucking mutt.
I know that I have Basque in my family because that's the southern part of Spain, and my grandmother's last name is Inchautegui, which is fucking like 13-letter last name. I met a lady from Spain when I used to do timeshare, and she was like, same last name. I said, Inchautegui, and she looked at me, she was like, nobody could ever say that right. And I was like, my grandma's last name. And I told another dude from Spain about the name. He's like, oh, that's the name from this Basque region. Fuck if I know. They have a crest and everything. It's like, oh, shit. So I learned something about my family. And there were also a lot of what do you call it? Muslim influence in that part of Spain because the Moors.
Yeah.
This turned into a history thing real quick.
But I think I love fucking history, so I always think that shit is interesting.
Yeah, the Moors spent 800 years in Spain. 800. So, like they built mosques and they lived lives. They had kids. They had family. 800 years, and back then people were living
in the slave trade too.
They had slaves.
That's what people were living there. Arab slave trade lasted way longer than any other slave trade in the world. Like Arabs were trading slaves forever before like anybody else.
Oh, Saudi Arabia had slaves up until the 60s.
They still fucking have slaves.
Well, up until the 60s, legally. They had slaves. Now they don't technically have slaves. They
moved to indentured servitude.
Right. They trick people into moving. Hey, come to Saudi. Enjoy the weather. Watch out for the camels. They spit. Oh, man.
But no, the basking is definitely interesting. And it's always crazy to me how, like, almost the whole world speaks European languages, besides, like, China or, like, Japan or something like that. Most of the world's been conquered by Europeans. And we all speak Spanish, English, like...
Oh, Latin. Yeah.
Everything. We speak almost all European languages.
Like, what's it called? Look at the... what's it called? The Romans. I mean, that's a reason why that Latin... spread everywhere.
Yeah, it's almost easier to name countries that don't speak European languages. Like, fuck, we all got fucked.
Well, here's the thing, right? Even like Africa is a large amount, has a larger European influence.
Africa is getting fucked by China right now.
Well, I don't know about that.
Oh, I do. They're buying up all the gold mines and taking all the gold out, and then building all the infrastructure just straight to their gold mines. But they do shit like that all the time. They have like places in Argentina. Like, why is it China in fucking Argentina?
I can't answer that question.
Building bases and shit.
They're a superpower. Why did we do it?
They want to be the number one superpower, and I really think they could do it too because they don't fucking care. They don't give a shit about anything. Do you see the shit they're doing to their Muslim population?
No.
They have them in concentration camps. They call them like re-education camps, but they just basically took their Muslim population and stuck in the camps.
They're like Mike Pence.
Yeah, and then people denounce them in the UN. They don't fucking care. What are you going to do? They could veto the UN, so it's like. China doesn't give a shit. That's why it's so scary. The president made himself president for fucking life.
Yeah. Well, they're a communist country.
Yeah, but it's scary once people start doing that shit. Like, oh, for life, like forever.
No, but they're a communist country. That's they can do that. That's the difference. The difference between democracy and communism.
Well, if we have democracy,
yeah. But
we have.
Speaking of going in total chaotic, what do they call that? Total chaos. Back to gaming.
I don't know.
And gaming in the apocalypse, which is kind of relevant to politics and chaos, but the game that I was like playing addictively and like loving the shit out of it. It was the first game I was like, holy fuck, they got this shit right. Was Days Gone, which ironically the same guy who plays Starkiller.
Is the Days Gone dude?
He's in Days Gone, dude.
No way.
Yeah. And he's in the first episode of The Walking Dead.
Who is he in The Walking Dead?
He's the zombie in the tank.
Oh, where he shoots and it's too loud.
Right.
He shoots a little grenade or whatever.
Right. Yeah. Do you know, so was it Frank Darabont's the guy's name? That guy he had this whole backstory. You ever notice in the first season of The Walking Dead, we'll get back to the game, but the first season, the first episodes of The Walking Dead, they focus really close on some zombies. You're like, remember
like the one that's crawling on the floor? Right. That's like she's half. Or
right,
whatever.
She's half. The guy in the bus,
and there's one guy like in a black suit.
The guy in the bus.
Yes,
he was sleeping, and they focus on him a bunch, and then you see him again, and a bunch of zombies follow him. And remember the one zombie that picked up a rock, and they're inside the supermarket. I mean, and that's
which was really weird because they never do that in any other season.
Right?
They never like show some kind of intelligence besides then.
It's because this guy Frank Darabont had this whole other concept and idea that they were going to follow. So the second season instead of going into being in the room, because you talked about the second season, it was horrible.
The farm,
going to the farm for a whole season. Instead of doing that, they were going to start off with the fall of Atlanta. And so basically what Fear the Walking Dead was been trying to do.
That makes sense because like their beginning was the fall of LA or whatever. Yeah.
So it was supposed to be the fall of Atlanta. And those people, they were going to show you their backstories alive, including that guy who ends up dead in the tank, which is Yeah, I can't remember the actor's name right now, but so him and the other zombies, and they all had backstories, so that the zombies weren't just these mindless monsters; they were people, and you kind of have like I guess some type of compassion for them.
Oh shit! There's a part where they're in the mall escaping, and before he like cuts the guy up, he takes out his wallet and like reads his ID, and tries to put like some kind of humane aspect on it. Right, that makes sense now.
Because if you think about it, like everybody's like, "Oh, I'll just fucking do this to zombie, do that," but in real life, you're like, "That's a fucking person."
Yeah, you wouldn't treat a dead person like that.
And before you even killed or stopped one of those things from moving in the beginning of it, like people were like, "Hey, what's wrong with Fred? Fred is biting me," like, so you could see how everybody get fucking ate up and chewed to pieces. But
that's one of my favorites. Like in the beginning of Dawn of the Dead, you remember the old Dawn of the Dead from like the early 2000s?
You mean the 80s?
No, the remake in like the early 2000s
with
Mekhi Phifer and stuff like that.
The track zombies.
Yes, and the dad from who's the dad from Modern Family's in it. And in the beginning scene, they have their daughter comes in, they don't know what's happening, and then she just fucking like viciously kills the husband or whatever.
Right, that movie's awesome. But everybody's like, "Oh, I would do this, I did." No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't know what the fuck to do.
And we'd be all fucked in this city anyway.
Oh yeah, you work in New York City. You're fucked.
We're not going anywhere.
You live in New York City unless you can swim across.
I try and go as far north as I can. I'm just getting out of here and trying to go to Canada where they won't let us in.
Yeah, good luck. You are not even going to cross one of these bridges.
But I live on this landmass. I just go north.
I was about to say, we do live...
Yeah, we're connected to the rest of the United States.
We're connected to the United States.
We just run
in the
north.
Bronx.
Yeah, we go right straight north.
You're in Brooklyn. You're in
Manhattan, Queens, Brooklyn, Staten Island. Well, Staten Island.
It's an island.
They can just hold that shit down. There's all those fucking cops out there anyway.
Yeah.
Firefighters. I don't know. They just blow up that one bridge. Oh, no, they have two.
Three,
yeah. MLK 2. Nobody's coming through there. I just blow them shits up.
But what happens when they change?
You kill them.
You can't get off the island.
Yeah, there are finite resources though. You have the ferry. Oh no, they'll probably all be fine. Yeah, you're kind of screwed everywhere. Forget it.
You're just lunch meat.
Yeah, I mean, you can go across no, they're not even by the Long Island Sound, are they? Is that Queens? Is like under the Long Island Sound?
No, they're in the East River. You're talking about? I mean,
because if you're along the Long Island, you can go straight up to like Connecticut because you have the Long Island Sound divided.
Oh yeah, but you need a boat.
I'm on Long Island. I'm rich already, so I'm on a boat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. If I live on Long Island, I just assume I own a boat. So.
Yeah, you might as well stay out on the boat.
Yeah. I don't know what I would do in the Bronx, so I just go north. I'm already pretty north, so I go right into Westchester. That's like in World War Z, that big thing of the Battle of Yonkers.
Yes,
I wish they would have showed that in the movie. That book was awesome.
Yeah, I watched this whole thing with Bill Burr talking about World War Z. On YouTube, it's fucking hilarious. He was like,
love Bill Burr.
Oh, he's amazing.
Have you watched his new stand-up?
I watched all three. I watched three of them.
The newer one on Netflix?
I have to watch Paper Tiger.
One. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I gotta watch it.
Fucking good.
He's awesome.
Yeah. So I just really recently started getting into him, and he's talking about World War Z and saying like, oh, like like why would you make it a PG-13? He said somebody from the studio changed. He's like, this fucking movie about zombies. How can it be PG-13? Like,
wait, there's no way World War Z was PG-13.
It was.
They cut the girl's arm off.
That's it. Think about World War Z. There was no blood.
Oh, well, that's how they get away with like in Marvel movies too. They just don't show blood.
Right. There was no blood. There was
Star Wars too. No blood.
Right.
Makes sense.
It's like G.I. Joe, millions and billions and billions of shots fired.
Nobody ever hit. Like all the Dark Knight movies, Joker never he fucking stabbed that guy's eye through the fucking pencil. There was no blood.
Yeah, until they had what's it called? Not Ben Stiller. Ben Stiller is back.
What was that other movie that he was in where they were superheroes? You remember that one? Oh, it was like him, the dude from fucking Kenan and Kel was in it.
I vaguely remember that. Yeah,
and he just got angry. Ben Stiller's power was he just got angry. Yeah.
Oh man, I gotta look that one up. That's a great one.
Yeah, I remember that, but I know like Kenan and Kel dude, like he would just turn invisible, but only if you didn't look at him. And then Pee Wee Herman just like smelled really bad.
Oh, that's great.
Fuck, what the hell was that movie called?
Pee Wee Herman. So, I love that. Paul Norman's awesome. I love him. But what's the... Oh, shit. Okay, so the game, right, is called Days Gone. It starts off and you're a motorcycle... You're part of the Mongols. And it takes place in Washington State. So, you're up north. It's kind of remote. And you're with your wife or whatever. And then she gets... taken away by like some type of like med team, and then you later on it flashes forward to like a year later, and now you're like on your little motorcycle, you're trying to survive and all this shit. The storyline is dope. The gaming is amazing.